nickname. Of course, he called me pendejo. I would get phone calls from him and he'd say, "Hey, pendejo, how you doing?" I go, "Good, you pendejo." We talk to each other, so I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend it. That's the only off-color thing I'm going to say. When Marcus asked me to speak, I reflected on all of the funny memories and the great times that we spent, and I realized that the majority of it I couldn't share in the speech because it's inappropriate. But I can share his spirit and his essence. And I think that's what we all remember of him. His personality and his zest for life was overflowing. He had an irreverent and off-color sense of humor that I shared, and I think that's why we got along so well. I met Jimmy and I was trying to track the timeline of this, because now it goes back 25 years, so I don't even really remember exact time frames, but it was approximately 1994. And we were commercial real estate brokers together, and we spent a lot of time with each other, more time than we spent with our wives, for sure. And as Marcus said, we sat right next to each other. And when Marcus actually reminded me of a story when Javi was sitting next to me canvassing on the phone, trying to get new leads. He was very animated, very loud, and at the time I couldn't stay focused on my work, so I got annoyed and I said, "What's wrong with you crazy Filipino?" And he called me, it's Italiano. He's like, "You crazy Italiano." So we would goof on each other, and as our friendship grew, that's how I identified Jimmy to all my friends who didn't know him. I said, "This is my crazy Filipino friend." And it was something he took great pride in and looked and enjoyed living up to, being that crazy Filipino. We spent a lot of time canvassing, and as Marcus said, we met a lot of people. Jimmy was a consummate professional, despite all of his goofing around, which was plentiful. He was laser focused when he got a lead. Something that might translate into business. All of a sudden you could see that the blinders go on, and he was very focused. And he was one of the hardest working guys I knew. He taught me how to canvass, and he taught me how to have a good time doing it so that it wasn't a burden. He was an impeccable dresser. The Brioni suits, the Ferragamo shoes, the Hermes ties. He'd say, "Vinny, do you know Brioni? Brioni." He says, "You don't know Brioni. Come on, I'll take you. I'll show you Brioni." We go to the Brioni store. He says, "See, this is the Brioni." And I'd say, "That's nice." So I tried to wear my best suit as an acknowledgement. It's not a Brioni though. I could never afford it, so just Brooks Brothers. The other thing, the Hermes, the ties. Howard was telling me a very funny story about the ties. He used to come and take your tie and he'd look at it and says, "What is that tie?" He goes, "Vinny, this is Hermes." Hermes. And I'd say, "Hermes, what?" He says, No, Hermes. He says, "No, it's like a mess in the air. Hermes." And so I said, "Okay, yes, Hermes, I got it." He had this scarf that he got from Bergdorf Goodman's, and we'd go out canvassing. And on one occasion that I recall, one of the women that we were trying to get information from acknowledged and said, "Oh, what a beautiful scarf that is." And you could see Javi's face just light up. He smiled. He was so happy. He says, "Yes, I got it at Bergdorf Goodman's." So Jimmy, like myself and many men, had a weakness, and it was beautiful women, of course. We know that. And I realized it much more when I finally met Sylvia at Takashimaya one day. He knew beautiful women, and then of course I met Jenny last night, and I really understood he had a terrific taste in women. But at the end of the day, he was so in love with his Lavadia. He used to say, Lavadia, Lavadia, she's a good woman. And where is Sylvia? Sylvia, he loved you so much. You were his rock. And he told me so many times during his infirmity how good you were to him and how he appreciated it so much. And I just think everyone should realize that. And I thought that that was the most important thing for you to know about his love for women. Despite all of our banter and our guy talk, which we did all the time, he was so in love with you. Then, of course, there was Marcus. He was crazy about Marcus. Is crazy about Marcus. He used to say to me, like, Vinny, let's go down to Browning, and you can see Marcus is playing basketball. So I'd go with him, and we'd see Marcus, and Marcus would be playing basketball. There was nothing that he wouldn't do for Marcus. I remember him telling me about the Nick Bollettieri camp. Wow. It's a exclusive sports camp for children that are professionally inclined. And so he wanted to send Marcus to the Bollettieri tennis camp. And he says, Vinny, you know the Bollettieri? And I said, no, what are you talking about? The Bollettieri. I'm sending Marcus to the Bollettieri. And I was like, what the hell is Bollettieri? It's like, it's a tennis camp. So there was nothing he wouldn't have done for Marcus. So he asked me, he said, Vinny, would you do me a favor and take Marcus golfing? So I said, sure, I'll take Marcus golfing. So he brought Marcus out. And here I am, I'm thinking, you know, this spoiled kid from the Upper East Side, you know. But look at what a fine young man he's turned into. Not only is he proud of you, I'm proud of you, and everyone in this room is proud of you. The way you've conducted yourself and taken the responsibility of handling his affairs is incredible.
Amen.
Amen.
God bless you.
Amen.
One of the things that was very interesting that I really didn't know was how old Jimmy was. His zest for life, his passion, and his youthfulness, I guess deceived me. When I read the obituary and I realized he was 72 years old, he was 18 years older than me. And all along I considered him my contemporary. We were contemporaries, but not in age. And he had that youthful spirit, and that I think was one of the defining factors of who he was and what everyone loved about him. The thing that I realized that I think is pretty cool is Marcus is 17 years younger than me. And so while the roles may have changed a little bit, I don't have Javi Sr. anymore, but I have Javi Jr. And so now I'm the joker, cracking the stupid jokes, telling him the off-color statements, and I'm looking forward to us continuing that relationship as we get older. And I think Jimmy would be very happy about that, as am I.
Yeah.
In closing, I'd just like to say that we all try to honor Jimmy's life. And I think the way that we can honor it is by, one, not taking life too seriously. You know, Jimmy had a way of really enjoying life. I think we all need to stay young at heart. And as I said, when I'm wearing my best suit, I'm thinking about Jimmy. And him in his Brioni suit, and his Hermes tie, and his laughing like only he could in heaven, looking down on us and thanking us for the great life that we are living in his honor.
Okay.
So that's what I'd like to all remember. Thank you.